Oh, sorry about the cutting of the video. Like I said in the first podcast, this is my second time ever doing this, so I'll get it right. I push a button and it turns the screen off, and I'm like, oh my goodness. But here we are. We're at the third point of what I wanted to talk to you about today, and that is make every single choice like it could be your last, because it could be your last, and make every choice wisely. Make it smart. Remembering step number two, that that everybody, let's just go from the top. Number one, life's all about choices, and the choices we make mold who we are today, right in front of you. Number two, um, think about the worst consequence before you make a decision, because every decision you make has a consequence. One may be good and one may be bad, like a good positive consequence or a negative consequence, but they have consequences. I remember when I first uh, woke up in the hospital. Um, the room just looked so eerie and dead and all that stuff. I mean, there's not much life to it. So I somehow got a computer and I put a bunch of scriptures and I hung them all over the walls along with a bunch of quotes to live by, so that everywhere I go and everywhere I went, I would be reading, positive, good, and godly stuff, even at that point in my life. I mean, I really wasn't following God. I wasn't acting like a Christian. I really wasn't even talking like a Christian. But in my heart of hearts, when I was alone and I was struggling, whenever I was struggling, I'd reach up to the sky to Him and say, help me, God. Of course, it was only when I was down and out. Oh, get me out of this one. I'll never do it again. I'll do it again. So by anyway, was I not following Him? Did I acknowledge Him? Yes, I did. Which, that doesn't make you a Christian. I understand that. So then after I became a Christian, which is a long story, where I went home for a weekend at a wedding, and a year after what happened to me, and I'll tell you the short side of it. And then a pastor had a long conversation with him about drinking and about certain other things, and ended up coming to Christ that next day as he was preaching. I felt like I was the only person there, and I was like, "Well, who's he talking to?" But my heart was being pulled, and so I gave my life to Christ. I cried, and then I remember coming back to school, and my roommate, who was an atheist, said, "What are you doing, man? Why are you so happy?" I said, "I'm a Christian." He goes, "Well, that's great. You remember it's alumni weekend, right?" I went, "Oh my gosh," because I had just invited a bunch of guys from my fraternity to come back and hang out with me and drink. And at first I was like, "I'm gonna tell them I can't go. I'm gonna tell them I can't go." And then I just felt like this nudge from God being like, "You're gonna go, and you're gonna tell them why you're not drinking." I was like, "Oh man, this is gonna be brutal." So I went to the bars and they wanted to buy me a drink, and I was like, "I don't drink anymore." And they were like, "Since when?" I'm like, "Since 3 days ago." They're like, "What?" And they all started making fun of me and stuff. They made fun of me the whole night, but I just carried a little pack of Sprite and, just laughed and joked with them. And, it was all right. It was kind of, once everybody started getting drunk, I had to get out of there anyway. It was kind of interesting to be sober around drunk people. So there's that story. But, then when all these individuals kind of went their own way, because I changed and I was so different, I basically had to make new friends all over again. And that's when I met my mentor, Robin, who was this old dude that had been in the chair a long time. And he poured into me, and I was able to get out of that rehab and go to school. And, school was my ultimate goal there. And next week I want to start at school. So this week I just want to say thank you so much for listening, if you listen. And I hope you just remember that each and every day we're alive. Thank God that we're breathing. And if we're breathing, God has a plan for your and my life. And remember, life's all about choices. We make thousands of choices a day. And every choice we make, we need to make it wisely. We need to look at all the consequences to the choice before we make the choice. And that will help us. It will calm us down, make us think. After we make the choices do have consequences. So make a good one, and you'll get a good consequence. Make a negative one. Sometimes you get the negative one. But even if you get the negative ones, you just keep driving forward. Because trials and things that go on in our life are just like a speed bump. We got to slow down, but once we get through them, because we will get through them, God says we will, we put our foot on the gas and keep going fast. I love it. So, hey, you all have a life. All your lives matter. So go out and make them count. Make them count. God bless you. May God keep you all protected and have a wonderful week. Love you.